name's John Beale. I work for Cerebra as their head of strategy. Day to day, it is producing and curating holistic year-long strategies for our clients, as well as making sure that these strategies are implemented from a content production as well as community management perspective. It also entails making sure that the KPIs are met from both client and an agency side.
John, what's your take on paid media?
I don't think we're as far as the UK and the US with a declining paid media industry. I think that we're pretty much still on the upward curve where clients are definitely willing to put budget into paid media. I think with the likes of Google, especially from a mobile perspective, paid media spend will definitely still be on the increase for quite some time. I do think that media agencies and clients are both starting to question the efficiency of paid media from a banner perspective. I don't think that the click-through rates and the direct sale therefore from that is actually, they're maybe not starting to see what they would have hoped from there. I also think possibly there is some point when where will be the same realization as they've had in the US and the UK around paid content and the way that content as a media driver could work a lot better.
You mentioned Google. Why is that something that's important to you?
In any industry, in any market worldwide, people are inherently lazy, so we'll just default to the search bar. And I think that Google is pretty much the way that most of us, even those of us that are incredibly skilled at the internet, go to look for content. And that's with the proliferation and a move to more and more content being created on a daily basis. The importance of Google for clients and then the brand as such just gets more and more, to reiterate the same word, kind of important, and especially from a mobile perspective, because that's really where it's at in Africa.
Where does mobile fit into the mix?
I think that clients are still spending the predominant amount of money on a desktop paid media. I don't think that's the right thing that they're doing. I think that predominantly your spend should probably be going to mobile, but again, if you look at the mobile networks and the paid mobile networks that are there to make use of, I think that there's still probably a lot of work that has to be done in terms of targeting. HTML5 is obviously making the experience a lot richer for the upper 1%, but I think if we look at the rest of the market, which is not on the fanciest mobile handsets out there, smartphones, I think that there's a lot of work to be done there from how are we targeting them on a mobile perspective, besides again just the banner ads, which I think is thick and pretty heavy. If you look at a Soccer Laduma, how branding taking over the whole Mobi site there. I think maybe guys are starting to look past that, even in the lower markets. They may be starting to. There's a bit of fatigue on that media. So I also just think there's a lot of thought that needs to go into the targeting. I think that we need to really think long and hard around the guys that we're targeting from a high-end perspective. Definitely are mostly online from a PC and laptop perspective, but I think we need to think long and hard around the proliferation of guys using two devices, smartphones, and then the mass market, which is definitely not there from the smartphone base.
Do you think targeting technology is adequate?
Yes, I do. I think the likes of the AdMobs and the third-party ad server guys, I think they're doing a good job at making sure that targeting gets a lot better. I do, however, think that it's a symptom of technology, number one, where if you look at the States where logging into my Gmail account will give me them all the data that they need to target me effectively. I don't think that I think that's that'll come along as that sort of technology makes way in South Africa, and guys that are in the lower end of the market are logged into Gmail while they're on Google, and we can target searches and PPC properly and contextual advertising. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of both there. Yeah.
Do you think ad networks are doing a good job?
From a reach perspective, yes, definitely. Ad networks are the way to go. I think if you're looking at, again, it just depends on which market you're going for. Contextually targeting, I think you need to always, I always worked on a sort of a 70, 20, 10 principle really on, the 10% really looking at very, very niched sites or even apps in app targeting, and then that can also be done by a network now. The 20% looking at very contextual places to go, and that you usually have to do the buy with the actual Mobi site or website And then is that a page takeover? There's some really cool stuff that the 24 guys are doing, looking around how the rich media lives from there on. But again, how are you getting people to engage with that ad longer probably than you would and create an impact, because that's who really sees a banner ad anymore. And then that 70% is really the reach perspective, so that's from a awareness driver perspective on how many sites you're actually getting on, just to make sure your message is there.
Isn't it a little bit obnoxiously invasive, those kind of takeover banners?
Yes. So, they irritate the hell out of me, so I can't see how I can justify that at all. I think it's an industry grappling to make impact, where it is using a media that is totally irrelevant to many people right now. It's like saying, if we look at the TV ad, isn't that a bit invasive, watching a TV show and having a TV ad come on in the middle and make me stop watching my show? But it's even more relevant online right now, because I have the ability to close it, I have the ability to move on to another website immediately, and they're really grappling at any type and way to make sure that they're going to get my attention at that point. I think obviously where that does make a lot more impact is if you look at that targeting is done with a lot of my interest in mind. So if I have been looking for a car for the past 3 months and the targeted ad that they're showing to me is of a new Peugeot 208, that's great, and that makes a lot more impact. But again, how many times have the clients actually gone to make that effort and do that analysis? Very few and far between.
This interview was brought to you by the OfferForge Advertising Network. See what we can do for you. Visit us on www.OfferForge.com.
You would never buy a Peugeot 208?
I would never buy a Peugeot 208.
Okay, thank you.